Friday.
Friday, TLIF. Thank the Lord it's Friday.
Oh, I like that.
You like that, right? Well, hello, you're watching Arise Entertainment 360. I'm Lola Ogunaike.
And I'm Shannon Lanier, and we're here to bring you the newest and hottest stories in American entertainment, culture, and sports.
Woohoo!
And coming up in today's show, more details on Paris Jackson's suicide attempt.
And is Elton John too gay for Russia?
Say what? And you won't believe how much Tom Hanks is making every single week on Broadway.
Wow, he is making bank.
The dough is coming
It's rolling in. Well, you know what, Shannon? It was a cold night for the Miami Heat yesterday.
Ooh.
Last night, the San Antonio Spurs beat the boys from Florida in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Final score 92-88.
Wow, you know, the Spurs already have 3 championship titles under their belt, winning the first in 1999. And of course, this Sunday, the teams go head-to-head again and face off each other for game number 2 in the finals. But you know, Lola, I think the most interesting thing of last night's game actually happened after the game.
What was that?
Well, basically, Eva Longoria, who of course used to be married to Spurs player Tony Parker, tweeted, "Go Spurs, go." You know, that's very nice of her because she's still a fan even before she was married to him.
Okay.
But then Dick Vitale tweeted back saying, "Your ex is awesome." She's not trying to hear that.
Why would he do that?
I know a lot of people were talking to the fact that he was very insensitive to the fact that they have a very messy divorce, and then he's just going to throw that in her face. And then other people were saying old people shouldn't just tweet. How about that? They said because they don't understand the implications and how far it goes. But she was classy.
Wait, old people shouldn't tweet?
That's what they're saying out there in the Twitter sphere.
There shouldn't be an age
They were saying
ban.
he's too old to tweet. He's messing things up.
I don't think that's
so,
fair.
I don't think he meant it to be spiteful. I just think he was just trying to say something nice.
All right, well, all's well that ends well. Let's see.
Exactly.
Game 2 is tonight?
Sunday.
Sunday.
And I'm sure everybody will be watching.
I won't be.
Okay, well, besides you, everybody else. Well, Taylor Swift won't be watching because she's too busy and has something to really sing about.
She sure does.
A list of the top 20 tours of North America has just been released, and Taylor Swift's tour last week brought in $1,700,000.
In 1 week?
In one single week.
Goodness.
Well, then Kenny Chesney came in at number 2 with $1,600,000.
Wow, those country acts are bringing in the
Right?
dough. Bon Jovi came in at number 3 with $1.5 million. Pink came in at number 4 with a little over $1 million. And at number 5, one of my favorite groups, Maroon 5, with nearly $900,000.
I'll still take it.
All right.
Pretty good.
Well, Shannon, is Elton John a little too outrageous for Russia?
Apparently.
Well, yes, a small communist group in Russia is threatening to protest an upcoming Elton John concert if the singer doesn't ditch his flamboyant costumes.
Wow, the group called John's ensemble homosexual propaganda. And yes, that's what they said.
Are you kidding me?
That his outfits were. Not the songs, not him, but his outfits.
Okay.
And they suggested that instead he wear knee-length caftans, a fur hat, and leather boots instead. Seriously, I don't see him wearing that. But you know, John is not the...
knee-length caftan and leather boots.
Like Martha Stewart.
Ooh, yes.
But you remember that?
I do remember that. That's exactly what she was wearing. That was a good one.
Thank you. But you know, he's not the first one to be targeted by anti-gay groups in Russia. You know, Madonna was sued because they claimed that her costume or her concert all promoted homosexuality.
Are you kidding? How does a costume promote homosexuality?
Costume, the concert, everything.
Oh, concert.
Everything.
Oh, so Elton John's costumes.
His
and
costume.
Madonna's concert.
Her concert,
so
her lyrics,
entire concert
everything.
was homosexual propaganda.
Right.
Oh,
They're looking for
goodness.
any reason to just fuss at people right now, I think.
Wow. Well, speaking of concerts, Chaka Khan has canceled 4 of her upcoming concerts, and her album has also been put on hold because of exhausted vocal cords. Oh, that's a shame. She's really good in concert. Well, Khan's manager released a statement saying, quote, "Due to her doctor's orders, it's best that we move the date to give her the proper and adequate time to promote and market the new album. We are looking forward to a great project and a very robust concert and tour schedule this fall."
Well, you know, we're still excited that although she's going through those issues, she will still be attending the Apollo Spring Gala in New York City on June 10th, where she will be inducted into the Apollo's Legend Hall of Fame.
Wow.
That's right. And the Icon Project, which is her new album, will hit the shelves in the fall. So definitely.
I like
the
it.
Icon.
Icon.
Yeah.
That's very cool the way it's spelled. It's like lowercase I-K-A-H-N.
Pretty.
Icon, get it?
Pretty creative.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know I love a good pun.
That's true.
All right.
And there's a lot of puns being had on Broadway right now because Tom Hanks is truly one lucky guy.
Oh, get it? Lucky
guy.
guy.
That's because he's starring in Broadway's Lucky Guy and making a whopping $150,000, get this, Lola, a week.
A week?
A week, $150,000 a week. Yeah.
I'm speechless. Okay, well, a spokesperson for the play said, quote, there has been an unusually high demand to see Hanks. From the first preview, the house was full and people were buying standing room only tickets. Hanks was originally scheduled to star in the play until June 15th, but clearly his run has been extended to July 3rd.
Wow.
And he's nominated for a Tony.
I would try to extend it more, making that type of money.
I know, right?
As hard as we work, we should make that kind of money too.
Right? If I were Tom Hanks, I'd be in that play until they close the curtains
Yeah,
off.
like I can stay, really. I got time.
2015, I'm still here.
2015. You know, speaking of big paychecks,
Yes.
Fast and Furious 6 has reached a major milestone.
It has.
The film has crossed the $500 million mark, the faster than any other film in Universal's history. And of course, a 7th installment will be racing into theaters on July 11th of next year. But you haven't even seen the movie yet, right?
But I'm going to go see it this weekend. I need
Okay.
to know what all the hype is about.
Right. They're just breaking records all over the place.
I mean, Vin Diesel, yeah, he's a cute guy. And The
Okay.
Rock, okay, but I need a little more.
Well,
I need to see what it's all about.
Apparently,
You
there's a lot of
haven't
people
seen it either.
I haven't seen it.
Really? Okay.
Maybe we'll go together this weekend.
That's what happened.
Okay. I tried.
Not because I don't love you,
Okay.
but we just need some time away from each other
Aw.
to enjoy each other on Monday.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder type of thing?
Absolutely.
Okay, gotcha.
Absolutely.
She just doesn't want to hang out with me. You hear me, right?
That's not it.
At all.
Well, shifting gears, Shannon.
Okay.
Sadly, it looks like Paris Jackson's meltdown. Well, it's been happening for almost a year now.
Really?
Yeah, sources close to the troubled teen tell TMZ that she's been dealing with, quote, major family trauma since Katherine Jackson's mysterious disappearance last July.
Oh, that's right. It has been alleged that the Jackson family matriarch was held against her will last year as part of an attempt to gain money from Michael Jackson's estate, a claim that Jackson's siblings deny.
Well, after the incident, Paris's grades began to slip. She was also upset about her family's refusal to allow her to star in a new film. And in an interview with Oprah last year, she admitted that she was bullied at school and online, Shannon.
And now it's being rumored that her final breaking point came this week when she wasn't allowed to attend a Marilyn Manson concert. The rock star dedicated his song, Disposable Teens, to Paris on his June 6th show.
Well, in a recent YouTube video, Paris is giving a makeup tutorial, but it's what she's saying at the beginning that's causing much speculation. Let's take a look, Shannon.
Thanks for watching and wasting like half an hour of your time on me. I sincerely appreciate it because usually people get bored of me by then. Someone probably did. They just skip past me making random comments like I'm doing now. I need to shut up now. I need serious help. I'm crazy. I am crazy.
Well, here to break down Paris's meltdown is clinical psychologist Dr. Sonia Banks. Dr. Sonia Banks, do you really believe that she was trying to kill herself? Do you think this was a cry for help? I mean, she did call a suicide hotline, so
Right.
she didn't want to die.
No.
I hope not.
No, I don't think so. It's a cry for help, and you did a great job painting the history. Extended grief takes all kinds of forms, and you could see from what she was putting online that she felt like she was coming apart. She used the word, I'm crazy, I'm crazy.
Right.
Well, that's a great catch-all when you're 15 for things are happening and I don't understand why. It's taken us a while to see how grief shows up, but as a 15-year-old, when you've lost your father and you're not quite sure about your identity anyway, it gets really complicated quickly.
And she even said, I need help, I need help.
Yes.
Was she just speaking out of her head, or was she really saying, I need help?
She was really saying, I need help. And when you ask for help at age 15, you're not clear what kind of help you need. You just want someone to come in and help the pain go away.
Yeah, it's
and
true.
the pain wasn't going away fast enough. So she upped the ante. By calling a suicide hotline, she was really saying, I feel like I could hurt myself and I know somebody can help me.
Well, what are the unique pressures that she's facing as the child of an icon,
Right,
of a late icon.
And a legendary late icon with all kinds of speculation. Well, you know about the bullying at school, the
Right.
challenge to be normal, that her father kept wanting that for her, wondering if she could be normal. The difficulty living with her grandmother and not being with her biological mother, wondering what that's about. And also when you're 15 and you want to make friendships and relationships, it's very difficult when you're a celebrity. She has a lot of pressure on her because she has the pressure of the fantasy of her father and wanting to be able to be seen as okay and follow the guidance he gave her and the family.
Well, what about some of the tweets and some of the messages that went out right before she tried to commit suicide? She was saying that her tears, or why are tears so salty? She started singing the Beatles song yesterday. And in another tweet she wrote, "You say I need therapy. Well, my darling, so do you." And, you know, she goes on these rants.
Yeah.
You know, are these more cries for help?
Absolutely.
And how does this differ from the normal teenagers' angst that they go through?
Not very much. When you're at the level as a teenager where you want to get rid of yourself instead of getting rid of the problem, it's generally because you don't have enough coping skills. And at 15, who does? Her song diary, what she decided to use as a metaphor and a tool, was excellent given her family history. But they are cries for help, and they're very specific. The Beatles song is very specific. What was happening yesterday for her? Maybe the image of dad being alive. Maybe a family that wasn't so difficult. She doesn't have anyone probably there who speaks in a voice that she recognizes, meaning who is deciphering what she feels when she comes home? Grandma's about in her late 80s or mid 80s.
Yeah, she is.
She may not have a parent that's helping her make sense of the duplicity of her new life without dad.
Well, what
it's
about some of
interesting
the...
because, you know, the 4-year anniversary of Michael's death is
Yes.
coming up in a few weeks.
That's right.
Could that have been a trigger?
Absolutely. Here comes Father's Day. Where's my father? What's happening in school? People are preparing for Father's Day.
Right.
So she has an expectation that's being set that she'll be in some family context with a father who's not there. She has a lot of pressures and she needs a lot of help.
What do you think some of the pressures led her to do some of the drastic things like cut her hair, dye her hair in colors that remind you of like the goth culture? I mean, these are some of the things that I see kids in my family on the streets doing.
Right.
Those seem like normal things. So how does a parent distinguish between what's normal and what is a cry for help?
Right, well, you're constantly listening. If you hear someone say to you, I'm crying out for yesterday, and they're going into dark and saying, I'm crazy, if that's your child, you want a conversation on a daily basis.
Right.
Pay attention to what's happening in their life. What are their friends saying? What do they need? Remember, keep them balanced. They're already going through hormonal changes. The diet, the exercise, the friendships, and the holidays are all triggers we have to pay attention to as parents.
Well, she recently reconciled with her mother, her biological mother, Debbie Rowe.
Right.
Will that help or hurt her in the long run?
Well, it depends on how that relationship moves forward. If Debbie Rowe is a coach, someone who can help her understand that she has a celebrity status, that she isn't quite normal as she wants to be, and that's okay, that's normal in that particular area, depending on how Debbie makes meaning for her of the suicide attempt, of the loss of grandmother, of all of the factors in her life that make it difficult for her to be her, it'll make a difference.
Well, what about that video that surfaced last year of Paris going at it with her aunt Janet Jackson? You know, how important is the family support element in this type of situation, and how important is it for those people to be reaching out and connecting with her?
Very important for consistency. Look, all teenagers struggle and have arguments with their aunts and uncles. It's a part of growing up, finding out who you are, where your voice is. We don't want to label everything as pathology, but we do want to listen to what message is taken in. How is that conflict resolved? Is there a way that we can be in touch with each other, or is it only happening through aggression? Those things matter. As family members, we know it matters for us to sit around the table and have good conversations and have a good base. That way, when the teenager's in pain and struggling with agony and despair, there's a foundation, there's a consistency.
And Dr. Sonia, really quickly before we go, what advice would you give the Jackson family about how to treat Paris right now?
Stay very close to her. Watch her, be with her all the time. Get her a coach, and you know how I feel about getting teenagers therapists. Get her in a group where she can talk about the difficulty of celebrity with being a normal kid.
That's perfect advice. Thank you so much, Dr. Sonia. Always so good to see you. Unfortunately, under these circumstances, but better circumstances next time.
Yes,
all
I
right.
hope.
You're watching Arise Entertainment 360.